Hello, my name's Tim, welcome to Tim Burbage Reads, and today I'm going to be doing a review for The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This has got a big barcode on it because I bought it from a charity shop for 50p. This book is everywhere, it's incredibly popular. It came out in 2021 and has swept the world. It's covering every bookshelf. It's being made into a film, directed by Chris Columbus, produced by Steven Spielberg. Richard Osman was the TV host of Pointless, which was a afternoon game show, which I very enjoyed. And he was a TV producer. Now he's a podcaster, full author. He's taking over the world. This is the first in a series of, I think, 4 books called The Thursday Murder Club. It's about 4 pensioners who get together to try and solve cold cases, and then a case near them involving them becomes hot. You know, you have a murder and they're trying to solve it. Now, overall, I gave this book 3 stars, and I think it does some things pretty well. I feel like it's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. This book attempts to be a murder mystery. It attempts to be a character piece on pensioners and aging, and it attempts to be a very, very British, twee, dry, humour-filled book. Let's go one by one. So from a murder mystery perspective, I think this is okay. The murder itself doesn't take a lot of focus, and I think the plot suffers for that. The resolution, I didn't guess. I don't know if you're meant to guess it. I don't read a lot of murder mysteries, and the end result was actually a little bit unsatisfying for me. The second part, which was a view into aging and being a pensioner in a home and losing your freedom and having a life before and relations, and you may have complicated relations. I think this book actually handled it really well. You meet a lot of different characters in the old people's home, and you see how they are dealing with constant arrivals, constant departures, their views on life, the life they lead, and the life they led, is pretty good. I enjoyed that more than the murder mystery. And the third part is the kind of attempt at twee British humour. I think this lays it on really thick. Really thick. There is a reference in basically every chapter in this, and there are, how many chapters are there? 115 chapters in this not even 400-page book, and I feel like there's a lot of empty space in this book because there's so many chapters, and I don't know if they kind of purposefully did this with the text to give you lots of empty space, to kind of make people feel better about how much they'd read. Like, oh, look, I've read it. Oh, that's a whole other page done, you know. But this is a very light book, both in terms of size and weight. It feels quite lightweight. There's a lot of very short sentences in here. It's very easy to read. Look, even more gaps. It's very easy to read. One thing that does annoy me in this book, from a prose perspective, is how the author, Richard Osman, I keep doing that, there's no D on it, uses the character's name a lot for everything they do. And let me just find, here we go. Dialogue, they often say the name of the person they're talking to, which people do, can make it quite jarring to read. So I'm going to read you a bit here I don't think there's any spoilers in here at all. It's quite early on. This is in chapter 8, and I'm on page 32, so you do the maths there. So Ron, thought-provoking, plenty to chew on here. Ron thanks Dennis for his kind words and waits for the move that he knows is coming, the move that always comes. And this must be your son, says Dennis, turning towards Jason and Richie, also cradling a beer. The champ. Jason smiles and nods, as polite as always. Dennis extends his arm. Dennis, I'm a friend of your dad's. Jason shakes the man's hand. Jason, how do you do, Dennis? Dennis stares for a beat, waiting for Jason to start a conversation, then nods enthusiastically. Well, a pleasure to meet you. I'm a huge fan, seen all your fights. We'll see you soon again, I hope. Jason nods politely, and Dennis ambles off, forgetting even to pretend to say goodbye to Ron. Father and son, well used to these interruptions, resume their conversation with Joyce. And then I'm going to keep reading, actually. Yeah, it's called Family Famous Trees, says Jason. They've researched the family history and they want to take me around various places. Tell me a bit about, family history. Great granny's a prostitute and all that. I ain't seen it, said Ron. What is it? BBC? It's ITV. It's really very good, Ron, said Joyce. I saw one recently. Did you see it, Jason? With the actor. He's the doctor from Holby City, but I've also seen him in a Poirot. I didn't see it, Joyce, said Jason. It was very interesting. His grandfather, it turns out, had murdered his lover, a gay lover as well. His face was a picture. Oh, you should do it, Jason, Joyce claps. Imagine if Ron had a gay granddad. I'd enjoy that. Reference, short sentences, people keep repeating the name. It makes it easy to read. It just doesn't quite work for me. Also, there is, every once in a while, chapters which are from Joyce's perspective, one of the old people, and she's writing a diary. So there's like diary entries, and they just randomly appear, and I feel like they're not written in a way that someone would write a diary in. They're written in the first person, which, as they should do, really. But the way that Joyce, the character, is writing doesn't feel that different from the prose in the rest of the story. Here's a clip here. So that's Bobby Tanner. Time for bed, Joyce. I wonder what Ron and Ibrahim are up to today. I know I was going to say something about Bernard, but it hasn't really formulated, so I won't. I bought Bernard some freesias from Peter Ward's shop. I wanted to buy something, but I couldn't think who to buy them for, and I thought perhaps Bernard would like them. Do women give men flowers? Not where I'm from. Perhaps that's not where I am anymore. So they're in the sink, and I will take them over tomorrow morning. Bernard would like Bruges, don't you think? There's a lot of questions, don't you think? You're writing to yourself. You're writing a diary? I don't know. And being like, I know I was going to say something, but it hasn't really formulated, so I won't. Would you necessarily write that yourself in a diary? It feels a bit incongruous. But overall, I think it kind of nails what it's trying to do. The voice is very strong. It's full of old doddery people talking in old doddery ways. There's a lot of British references. Biscuits, TV shows, pop stars, things like that. Dancing on Ice, all that kind of thing. The crime itself isn't super interesting. There are a couple of police characters who just let the pensioners do whatever they want, which is not realistic in any way. And the pensioners are never called out on it. I think that's okay. I think you're allowed to kind of have that bit of unrealism in a book about pensioners solving crimes. But I do think the crimes themselves weren't interesting enough, both in the crimes and the reasons and the resolutions. So overall, I give it 3 stars. Would I read the sequel? Probably, but I'm not like gagging for it like I would dunking a chocolate hobnob into a Tetley's cup of tea. Anyway, let me know if you've read it and what you think below in the comments. Give this video a like, really appreciate it. And please subscribe. We've just hit 200 subscribers and I would like to see more of you there. Now, I think the last thing to do is for you to get out of my house.